Hi everyone, and welcome back to volume 4. I'm just trying to think what volume we are. Volume 4 of Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. Yeah, I didn't get a video done last week. I have been working on my piece a little bit, but I didn't get it on video. But I wanted to give you an update of my weaving because last week should have been my second video on my weaving. Anyway, I've done quite a bit more. It takes quite a while to do this weaving. So this leaf here was my first one. I'm just going to pop on the light. You might be able to see it better. So that was my first one. And then this is what I've done since. So I actually, rather than this, prefer how this has turned out. So I've used lots of different hand-dyed wools to get the different colour sections of the leaf. And I think that looks really cool. So much texture, it's interesting to touch. So I've almost finished this leaf. I just have that little section and that little section to go. And then for my main flower, I plan to do just some embroidery on the flower. I don't know if I'll embroider it in full or just do some little bits of embroidery. Anyway, we'll work that out. There's still so much more to do on this piece. So the prompt for this week, the final prompt is something sentimental. So you can interpret that however you want, which means that you'll probably do something different to everyone else because it'll be something that's meaningful to you. That could be something that you've found while you've been away on a holiday, something that someone's gifted you, something that has come from a parent, a grandparent, something that you just want to stitch down onto your piece that's a treasure to you and it's something meaningful. So what I decided to do is I've got a few spaces and I've got this big white space here. I asked Mum to make me something so that then that can be my something sentimental. So I'm going to show you what she made. She made me the sweetest little brooch. Okay, so it's got a pin on the back and she's embroidered and stitched on little tiny flowers and it's in a little vase, which is super cute. And then she throws this at me and she goes, oh, you might want to use this as well. So she did this little piece here. So I'm like, yeah, Mum, I'll use that as well. So my plan, because it will fit nicely into this gap over here, is to put the piece down that Mum made. And her idea was that the brooch would go here or here. I can't remember which one you told me, Mum. But I'm going to play around with it. I wasn't going to put it right next to that one. But I do like the way you've embroidered in. Would look good there. And then I thought I'd put a few other bits and pieces on. And this one here I thought I'd overlap down onto the next bit to start incorporating it in. And then I really like the buckle that I found at the sewing basket. So I thought that might go there. And then I also really liked the key. So I was thinking I might stitch the key there. So that can be my something sentimental. A few found bits from the sewing basket and then my brooch from Mum and the background from Mum. This is a cool idea. She's stitched a Suffolk puff with a fabric up. I often love the fabrics on the back. They're less faded and they're often really old fabrics. So that's really gorgeous and it goes nicely with my theme. So this is going to be my something sentimental. I'm going to start by stitching down this background piece. And I want to leave just a tiny little edge along there. I've got to work out, which we might show you next week, how I'm thinking of turning this into my wall hanging. I don't think the piece is going to be finished by next week because I've still got stuff to do on it. I have been doing bits and pieces, but I need to get on with it. So it might not be fully ready to go next week, but I can at least show you what I'm thinking. So for this, I think I'm just going to whip stitch around the outside, but I'd like to do it in a red perlé. And here's my red perlé. Whoops, so I'm just going to get a bit out. you know how to do this. This is super easy, and we're whip stitching all the time, or overcast stitching. You can call it whichever. I've heard it called both. Now, just so you have a heads up of what's going on, yes, we are doing volume 5. We have sort of mentioned that in a previous video that volume 5 will be coming up, and we know what we're doing, but Rach and I need to have a bit of a chat about it a little bit more. We definitely know what we're doing, and we thought we'd make a video and release it at some stage next week, telling you a bit more about the project, of what the 6 months will entail. It'll be another 6-month project. It's going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be prompts every 2 weeks. We're looking at doing not one piece that you work on for 6 months, but potentially multiple things. So we'll reveal that next week, once Rach and I have had a chance to just talk a little bit further before we announce that to you. But there's nothing major that you're going to need to get ready. You can just join us as we get started. It's you'll be fine. You'll have bits and pieces in your stash that will fit perfectly into this. There's going to be a lot of freedom of choice in terms of you could go with a theme. Like, I know we've had a couple of ladies too that I know of, going with an ocean theme this time. You could pick your own theme that would fit quite nicely into our project. So it's going to be a little less descriptive about prompts, but it will give you guidance on different things that we're going to do. Sorry, I'm a bit cryptic. It's probably not making sense, but it will make sense hopefully next week. Okay, so I'm going to stitch all the way around with the red perlé, and then I will come back and show you what I'm doing. So just whip stitching or overcast stitching. I'm doing fairly chunky stitches and keeping them pretty close together, and they're fairly straight. Oops. All right, so I'll pop off camera and I'll come back once it's stitched down. Stitching all done. I like the look of the red around that one. Now, I was just playing around a bit with the layout. I think I'm going to put that one there. So we're going to stitch that one down just with a plain white cotton. So just let me get a needle. So I don't need any kind of visible cotton on this one, so plain white will blend in nicely. Okay, let's bring myself a bit further down on camera. All right, so just starting wherever, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go around the edge and make sure I get a bit of the, what would this be? It's like a little tiny doily. What would it have been used for, I wonder? I don't know, but it's perfect for our kind of slow stitching projects, little things like this. So it doesn't take too long to get these things down. So can you believe it's almost Christmas? It's coming up so quickly. I've still got a lot of Christmas shopping to do. There's still time. Normally I'm pretty much done by now. I've really only done a bit of Jamie and my little nephews, my little ones, the little 4 and 5-year-old are pretty much done. I've been gradually gathering things for them and probably spent way too much. But Jamie told me the other day that I spoil them. And I said, yes, I do, but I don't spoil them as much as I spoil him. I'm giving them a bunch of little things. A lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff. They're really into that right now. Jamie was really into that when he was little. I think he might even have a few of his old Ninja Turtles that we could give them. But not the Lego ones. You're not allowed to give away the Lego. The Lego is very precious to my son. He is definitely a collector, and I don't think that is ever going to change. Even though he's almost 18, he'll be 18 at the end of January. Lego is number one always on his Christmas and birthday lists. He's got a lot of Lego. He's definitely a collector. Although the other day we were cleaning up a bit, and he's actually had so many sets that were built in his room, he's actually taken a whole heap down and bagged them up so that he can build them again easily. But he was literally running out of space. He also collects Funko Pops and has a lot of them. His room looks like a toy store. My little nephews come over and they want to go in his room. Sometimes he barricades the door so they don't go in, you know. But they're all toys, and the little boys, they're just fascinated. They want to go in and play with the toys, you know. And there's things like Jurassic Park dinosaur Legos that they've never seen before because it's older stuff. Jamie's been collecting since he was really little. Sorry. My thing's just hooked on something. He would be definitely an adult fan of Lego. In fact, if he could have his dream job, it would be designing Lego minifigures. He already does that on the computer. He'll see a character in a movie, and then he'll go ahead and design what it could look like as a minifigure, and he does a pretty good job. Okay, we are almost done on this one. Just got to go up the side. So I think, Pam, you asked me, how do we rethink Christmas, being in the Southern Hemisphere at summer? Well, to us, it's not rethinking Christmas. It is what Christmas is. Oh, can you hear the storm? Christmas to us is summer. So it always has been. So, I mean, yeah, it'd be lovely to have a white Christmas. And sure, all the Christmas carols and stuff, you know, talk about things like, you know, snowy Christmases, winter Christmases. But that's not the reality of what we have. We have a summery Christmas, so growing up as a kid, literally every Christmas day we'd be in the pool for half the day, have a gorgeous, we often have, we don't, well, our family, some families probably do, but our family doesn't do the big roast baked turkey and stuff on Christmas Day. We actually get that on Christmas Eve at Dad's place, and then on Christmas Day we have an Aussie barbie. We just have it a little bit more fancy, so we might have prawns on the barbie instead of sausages. Or we often will get a nice like rolled chicken or something like that, or a butterfly chicken. So we have the Aussie barbie on Christmas Day. And so I guess in a way for us it's not rethinking Christmas, it's just that is what Christmas is. Okay, so I was playing around with the layout. This will just be pinned on at the end because the pin's on the back. I was thinking about removing the pin. I might actually be able to do it. It looks like it might just be hot glue. I think I could get that off, because if I get that off, I'll be able to stitch that down flatter. Like this one here, similar, had a pin and I got it off, and then I stitched it down so it lies flat. Otherwise I'm going to have it on an angle. So I'm going to think about that. I'll pin it for the moment, and I might come back and stitch it later. So I think it can go there, and then I'm going to put my key here. So with my key, let me get some of my my perlé threads. Just going to have a look at what colours I want to use. Quite like the greens. That's a nice colour with the red maybe. I've got a navy blue somewhere as well, I just have to find it. Like that, those three there I think I'll use. So I've already got the red threaded up, so let's start with that one. And I am simply going to stitch over it. So just holding this in place, I hope to keep it straight. I'm going to start right in the middle and just couch it and do a band of red to start with. I love a storm. Can you hear it? Maybe if I turn the fan off. Turn the fan off, you might be able to hear the storm. Okay, so just a whole heap of red, holding the center part in place for the moment. And then just going to end this off here. Then what I thought I'd do is I'm going to put a little band of red on the end of the key as well. So I want to put a little band of red over this. It's a cool key. It's not a real key. I think it's just one of those craft kind of things. I got it at the sewing basket. It was just in a box of random things for like $1.50, and I got it for 50 cents. Okay, so I want to stitch it down here as well. Okay, and then I'm going to add a bit of green and blue. So the red's done for the moment. I'm thinking maybe a navy blue would be better. I have to find the navy blue. It's not here, I've put it somewhere. Okay, let's do the green first, and then I'll find the navy blue. So what are you going to do for your sentimental bit? Whatever you want, whatever's important to you, whatever. Could be something special, something someone's given you. Could be something, a sentimental message about your family. Sentimental is the prompt. So have fun, coming up with what you want to do. This is where I think we'll get a lot of variety, because everyone will have different ideas about what's meaningful. Okay, I want to couch it the same width as the red. And I'm actually thinking of the same technique for the buckle, that I'm going to just couch over the center thing. Exact same technique. So we had our final game of summer hockey tonight, and we won that, which was good, and we ended up winning all our summer games. So it was a good fun season, and then we'll be back in start of March. I think we start training for winter, which starts at the beginning of April. Okay, green done. And I'm going to have to pop my camera off because I don't know where I've put my navy blue. I need to find it in one of my boxes. Okay, so I'll be back in a sec. Once I find the navy blue. Okay, see you in a minute. All right, I got my navy blue. So I'm going to add it onto this end. Trying to get it nice and close to the key, that little stitch there. I don't know if you can see, but I put it, this one here, I put a little bit far out, so I want to try and get them closer. So I have just been at Juju's last night. I did mean to film an update of her treasure hunt, and also I think she's done a little bit of the Christmas stuff, but I forgot this morning. I was going to do it and I totally forgot. So I'll see her next week. So Juju, bring down your stuff and I'll film an update for everyone. All right, there we go. That's how I wanted it to look. And we'll just put the buckle on, and then I'll put the pin on. So next week in the video, what I'll do is I'm just going to show a little bit more progress of different bits and pieces I've put on, and I will also talk you through how I'm going to turn this into a wall hanging. So probably we'll see how we go about whether we do any further videos. I'll talk to Rach. Obviously next year I'll come back once it's fully done and I'll show you. I'm honestly still working on Down the Garden Path. I haven't finished my Christmas one from last year, so literally I am unfinished on everything. The only one I finished was volume 1 is completely finished, and I showed that already. But yes, so don't feel bad if you're behind, because I am behind on everything. But I do eventually want to finish the whole lot. Yeah, just a work in progress. Problem is I do one thing, then we go on to the next project, then the next project, and obviously when I'm working I'm very time poor and struggle to get things done. For the most part, when I'm really busy, I only get done what I do in the video on a Wednesday, and I don't get the time to work on it like I'd like to. Okay, so this is a bit wonky. I'm just trying to keep it straight. Once I get a bit down, I should be fine. So I don't know if anyone's up in northern Queensland, but they've got a cyclone that I think's hit there. Supposedly was supposed to hit landfall at 6 o'clock tonight. I'm just hoping everyone's safe. Certainly they showed on the news this morning people getting prepared for what's coming. Yeah, so big surf, flooding, sudden flooding, major rains, huge winds, that kind of stuff. So hopefully everyone that's up there is safe. I was even seeing on the news this morning some of the hotels are actually putting things like their furniture in the swimming pool because it will stop it from flying away. It stays in the water. They were filming up at Port Douglas, and Port Douglas is beautiful. We went up there a few years ago with my older brother, and it's a really great place to go where you can access the barrier reef and go out and on cruises and go and see how beautiful it is. So we did that quite a few years ago. We went up with my sister-in-law and my older brother, and one of his sons came. And I took Jamie up. My brother actually won the holiday, won the accommodation in a raffle or something, or a charity thing. And I had several bedrooms, so we got to go up and stay with them. It was fun. It's pouring, Rach. You love that. Heavy rain too, I can hear it. It's hitting the cover of the barbecue just outside the window. Okay, I'm just trying to just keep this relatively straight. I'm just stitching in a few random spots, and then I will fill in with sections of other colour. Okay, so I think I will pop off the camera and get this stitch down, then I'll come back and show you, and I'll pop the pin on that Mum made. So I'll be back soon. So here's my little treasure section. Treasures from Juju, treasures I found in the sewing basket, and it's time to put on the pin. So let's see if we can get this straight. Ugh, lots of fabric there. Nope, crooked. Let's try again. I've gone too low to come up a bit. Still a bit crooked. Third time lucky. higher. I think that's okay. Have I gone a little bit high? Looking from above, I think that's okay. So there's my little treasure corner. So that's done for this week. And then I've got another idea to add another treasure or two next week. So I'll show you that when I come back. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next week for the next edition. Okay, hope you're all well, building up to Christmas, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.